topic that we are busy with today is depreciation and disposal of non-current asset. This is a two-part series, so the first one will be on introducing depreciation and just recording the asset account, and then the last part, which will be another video, is going to be the calculation of depreciation, particularly the recording of depreciation and provision for depreciation, which will also include the asset disposal account. Now, this depreciation account, we are not going to go through all the details because at this level I would have expected you to know certain things already about this account or accounting in general. I expect that you have gone through the theory of depreciation. I also expect that you know the accounting principles because that's a chapter on its own, specifically the principle of prudence, consistency, matching or accrual, as well as the historic cost, because this underpins what we are going to do in the depreciation account. So if you know these principles, most of the things are going to become clear, but where possible, I'll also just touch light on it. That you also know the double entry. This is very, very important, especially the recording of the contra entries, the dates, and then finally the calculation of depreciation. First example here is the financial year of Mariental traders ends 31st May each year. Now, when you get a question like this, the first thing that you need to do is you need to highlight the dates, because if you know your dates when the year ends, we are going to need them, especially when it comes to determining when does the financial year begins and when does the financial year ends. So here it means that the year begins, for it to end on the 31st of May, it's because it started on the 1st of June. Now, these two dates are very important in these topics because the 31st of May, we are going to use it for all our closing off. And the 1st of June, we are going to use it for our balance drawdown. Now, the closing off is when we are closing off to the income statement and also to the balance carried out. So the 31st of May in this case is very important. So when you get 30th of September, then you know 30th of September is the closing off, 1st of October is the balance drawdown. The second thing that you need to understand when you approach this question is the balances. Most of the questions in accounting have balances, and so balances are very vital. So in this case, the balance is on the 1st of June 2022. And the principles that governs balancing is balances are recorded on the side where the account increases. So we know that the vehicle account increases on the debit side. And we know that the provision for depreciation account is a negative asset which increases on the credit side. So when we are going to write our balances, we know that the balance for vehicles is going to be on the debit side, and the balance for our provision account is going to be on the credit side. So when you find balances, even in other topics, balances should always be recorded on the side where the account increases. Four accounts that you are going to deal with. The first account that you are going to deal with is the asset account. Now, the asset account that we need to start with here is the vehicle account. What are the guiding principles of the asset account? The vehicle, which is an asset, increase on the debit side and decrease on the credit side. For the vehicles to increase, what are the things that make the vehicle account to increase? Obviously, when we buy more vehicles, the vehicles are increasing. When the owner brings vehicle in the business, this one I will just indicate it as capital. The vehicles are increasing. What are the things that makes the vehicle decrease? The value of the vehicle in the business will decrease if we sell some of the vehicles, if we donate some of the vehicle, but maybe that's not really covered in our context. So that means the guiding principle here is when we are buying a vehicle, we record on the debit side. When we are selling a vehicle, we record on the credit side. We will now go through the information again, just for us to point out, did we buy or did we sell? And this is very, very basic questions that even a grade 8 will be able to identify. So we start with the first one. On the 1st of March 2023, bought vehicle worth 90,000 by EFT. And what does our guiding principle say? Our guiding principle says if we bought something, we should put it on the debit side. Another vehicle worth 120 was purchased on credit from Namibia Motors on the 1st of December 2023. So purchased is the same as bought, so that also goes on the debit side. And then on the 30th of September 2024, the business sold. So in this case, we are disposing of a vehicle. It goes on the credit side. So when we go to the next page, I'm now going to teach you how to do the financial table. This is the financial table. With depreciation, you need to draw the financial table because financial table just makes things more clearer for you, and they just take away most of the confusion that should have been there if you do not know which month belongs to what. So our exercise only have 3 years at most. That's probably the maximum number of years that you are likely to get in a question, if not 2. So year 1 starts in June 2022. That must be your first month. And then your second month is July, August, September, and it continues the way. When you get to December, the year have not yet ended. You have just completed 7 months of your business. Then the year continues again in 2023, January, February, March, April, May. Now that is one financial period. And then after the year ends in May 2023, the June 2023 becomes your new financial period. So that's why when we started with this explanation, I said the May 2023 is the end of the financial period, and it's where we are going to put balance carried down. While the June 2023, this will be your beginning of the financial period, and this is where you are going to put balance brought down. We'll go back to the question and then we just try to find out which vehicle was bought when. The first one, the statement says that it was bought in March. So you come March 2023 is in which year? It's in year 1. So you are going to circle March and then we just indicate it's a debit side because we bought. And then the next one, when did we buy or sell? It was in December 2023, so you circle December 2023 and then you just indicate it as debit side. And then the next item is sold. We sold in September 2024. You also circle September, then we write credit side. We come now to the recording of the depreciation account itself. When you are recording the depreciation account, we have already mentioned that we start with the balances. The balance that we have is in 2022, June the 1st. So you write 2022, June the 1st. The date is very important because if there is no date, there will not be any mark. And the amount is 70,000 on the debit side. Now in year 1, if we look at our financial table, we only have one asset that was bought in March, and we put that on the debit side. So we put 2023 March, it was bought by EFT, so we are going to write the 90,000. So according to our financial table, this is all we have. We don't write other assets yet because we are only busy with year 1. So we are just going to write balance carried down, and then we write balance brought down. So you write 2023 May 31st, balance carried down 160,000, which is the total of what is in that year. And then you close off the account, and then every carried down needs to become a brought down. Now this carried down was on the 31st of May, so the brought down has to be on the 1st of June. So we write the balance brought down as 160,000. We go back to our financial year table. What did we buy or sell in year 2? As you can see, we have an asset that was bought in December. And we already learned from our guidelines that if you buy something, you put it on the debit side. So we come to our vehicles account. On the debit side, we write Namibian Motors. Why do we write Namibian Motors? Already from the beginning of our accounting studies, if something is on credit, you write the name of a creditor, the name of a trade payable. So the trade payable in this case is the Namibian Motors because it was bought on credit. And then according to our financial year table, that was the only item in year 2. So we come to our depreciation account, and then our balance carried down is on the last day of the financial period, which is 2024 May 31st, 208. And then we make our balance brought down 2024 June the 1st, 280,000. Now, how will you know that your balances are correct? The first balance brought down is in 2022 June the 1st. The second balance brought down is in 2023 June the 1st. The third one is in 2023 June the 1st. So if you see 22, 23, 24, then you know you are correct. The same way also with the carry down. 2023 May 31st. 2024 May 31st. Then we move on to the next information. What happened in year 3? According to our financial year table, in year 3, we sold one vehicle in September 30th. We sold it in September 30th, so that means the value of vehicles in the business are decreasing according to our guidelines. When we sell a vehicle, we record it on the credit side. So we come to our credit side, and then we are going to record 2024 September 30th, the exact date when the vehicle was sold. The detail is going to be vehicle disposal. This is the contra entry that is used when you dispose of an asset. Don't write cash, don't write other things. Vehicle disposal. If it was an equipment, then we are going to write equipment disposal. Now, this is probably the most important thing that I wouldn't want you to lose marks on. You write the cost price. If you look at our question, it indicates that this vehicle was sold for 55,000. This was the cash price that was received when we sold this asset. But do not write this cash price. You must write the cost price. And then if we put the 90,000 there, from there we are going to balance our account. The last day of the financial period is 31st May 2025. Balance carried down 190,000. Every carried down always becomes a brought down, so you have to bring it down as balance brought down. Just maybe to recap, when you get a question, make sure you know when is the financial year ending, so that you can determine, so that you can find out when is the balance carried down and when is the balance brought down. You must check if you have a balance. Balances are always on the side where the account increases. In this case, we had the balance of 70,000. It needs to be on the debit side. The third thing is to make sure that you indicate, did we buy a vehicle or did we sell a vehicle? So in this case, we indicated what we bought and what we sold. And after that is to prepare a financial year table, so that you can determine whether which of the assets belongs to which financial period, and that is going to be a guiding principle when you are going to do the actual recording. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video, where it's going to get a little bit intense, as we are going to record the calculation and recording of depreciation, provision for depreciation, and asset disposal.